What's going on, you guys? Slumpy back at you, coming with some deck profiles. So we had a double case tournament where pricing ended up being split in Top Cut, but there was a double case tournament for Ghost from the Past. So I believe it was top four. I think it was like four displays per person. Since the case has about eight, which is pretty dope. There was, I believe, around 20. I want to say like 26, 27 players. So it was pretty nice, having a double case tournament. Huge shout out to Celestial Gaming. If you guys haven't checked them out already, make sure you guys go and check them out. They have a Facebook, they have a TCG player and everything. The link will be in the description below. Again, huge shout out to Alan Craig and Celestial Gaming for hosting this tournament and for them giving out such amazing price support. For you guys that live in Washington State, they're actually going to host a double case tournament next week for the new set, which is sneak peek weekend. So if y'all want to come out or if you guys need to pre-register, feel free to message me on Facebook or any of my social medias. And comment down below. Again, if you guys haven't already, make sure to smash that subscribe button and like so I can provide more content for you guys. Shows me that you guys really want to see this. But other than that, let's go ahead and get to it. So this is actually one of my buddies' lists. He went undefeated in Swiss and won in top eight before they split in top four. So I put him as first place. He played Prankits. This is his deck list, as you guys can see. Pretty straightforward. Joey did say shout outs to me for the there can be only one idea. His list is pretty nice. It's 55. I don't think he likes playing 60. Um, Even though like 55 is already a big number, why not add five more cards, right? Um, but like when doing the numbers, he started playing like Small World and stuff, and he's even maxing out on like Roxy's. He just really wanted to fit all the hand traps he really could, on top of being able to have a good side deck space. You know what I'm saying? And there's extra deck and everything. Let me go ahead and organize this for y'all. And I will also have all the deck lists in the comment section below with the Dueling Book deck link. So if you guys want to test it out in Dueling Book, or if you guys even have like any like feedback on it, make sure to comment. I'll message all these guys to go ahead and try to check your guys' comments so you can see this. But this is the first place list. Everything is listed on the bottom left. If you can see on the video where it says Celestial first. So I'm going to be doing the top four deck lists, and then yeah, we're gonna keep going. So this is the next one. This is another person that went X. This person went X1. There was two undefeateds after Swiss. It was 4 rounds of Swiss and then cut the top eight. They played out top eight until top four, then split. This is the Flutter deck list. This is my homie Juan Rios. Now his list is very interesting. So he plays double barrier statue to try and, once you get rid of the first one, if he's able to have the trap card, you can set up a second one. So when he plays against, like when you're playing against certain decks and they can like normal summon out the first one, they can go ahead and try to get the second one out. And it's game changing and usually just wins the game. I do see some one-ofs, which is kind of interesting, like one Ogre, one Book of Moon, one Cosmic. But it kind of makes sense with everybody playing Zombie World and everything, and you never know when you're gonna see a main deck, especially for a tournament like this. So I think you just want to do consistency. I will say that Juan's side deck was very interesting. He sided Sphere Mode, he sided Denko Seka in this deck, and Denko Seka is kind of interesting too, because you don't really realize that you can play Denko in a deck like this. You have map, and you have like Denko plus map against like trap decks, like it's really really good. Um, there is that, and obviously he's playing anti-spell. Cards just absurd, especially when everybody's playing Lightning Storm, or you see, Dark Ruler and stuff like that. So really smart tech. Extra deck's pretty standard. Everybody knows how that deck works. Let's get into the third place. Now this is my personal favorite list from this whole entire weekend. Shout out to Chris Watton. If you guys don't know Chris always comes up with these crazy deck ideas and plays them. And I've seen him play this deck at locals, and he kind of adapted with like the new stuff coming out. The one thing that I will say was kind of interesting is I thought he was going to find a way to fit like some other stuff in the extra deck. You know what I'm saying? But his extra deck's pretty crazy. Let me go ahead and sort this one as well for y'all, so it looks a little bit more organized. You know what I'm saying? I just went off of their deck lists and went down like in order when I was typing these in. That's why it kind of looks kind of weird. But this is a crazy deck. This is Snake Rain dot deck with like, extenders and stuff. And he's really focused around, like the XCs, the synchros, and just kind of being able to break boards with this. And it's really interesting because you're able to just, start doing small stuff. You kind of just keep going. Obviously, D barrier is very effective against a deck like this. But you're still like, if you get D barriered for XCs or going into synchros, and you're kind of just slamming big bodies onto the board, breaking boards and kind of just going like a chaos deck, like for those people who used to play chaos decks back in the day, you always had, those cool interactions where, some BLS, I don't really know if that's a cool interaction, but you know what I'm saying, like and he was playing chaos space when what made it interesting is he wasn't playing like I don't think he was playing Levy, right? Yeah, he wasn't playing Levy, and he only played 2 right and 2 water enchanters, which I thought was really interesting. And Talons is actually low-key really good. If you look at his side deck, he's also playing Book of Eclipse, which is another cool out and another cool card to play when you play against a Despia deck, because you're able to book and win the 2 monsters they summon turn 1. You have to deal with Brandon and Red, so you have to deal with the Guardian Chimera if you're able to out that early on. You're kind of clearing the board. Plus, just being able to use it offensively too, right? Because if he gets deburied for Xyz and they do it like on the summon, he kind of just has like an Xyz and he's kind of just floating. You're waiting for the next thing to happen. And a deck like this where you can just like flip everything face down, flip back up, keep getting effects, kind of nuts. A Snake Rain just ends full combo because you get to send like 4 to 5 reptiles and you just pop off. But this is one of my favorite lists. This list is really really cool. Shout out again to Chris Watton. He also has a YouTube channel if you guys want to check him out there. And then the last deck list for top 4 was Cyrus Outlook. This list was 56 cards. Again, a weird number in the main deck to have. Like most people say, why not just play the extra 4 cards? And I think they're like, I found the cards that I wanted to play and just stuck with it. But you see some like weird ratios, right? You see like 2 twins, two talents, but you see the third ones in the side deck. You see like only 2 Veiler, 2 Bell, 2 of all the hand traps, and I think it's because you just don't want to see it in multiples, I guess, which I don't know. Comment down below what you guys think about that theory, of like only playing 2 of in a deck where you can't use it multiple times in a turn, you know what I'm saying? Or like a card I guess you don't want to see. And his side deck's pretty standard, 3 nib, 3 cross out, 3 evenly, lightning storm. Extra deck's pretty standard as well. But congrats to these 4 players for getting top 4 and getting 4 displays each. We're gonna get into the rest of the top cut. Now this list went, I believe, undefeated in Swiss, and then lost the first round of Swiss to Chris Watton, actually, who was playing that crazy interesting deck. And this is pretty much like the sad deck, for those who don't know, sad is Synchro Adventure Destiny Hero. But you will see that, it's a little bit different from the original list. This version is playing Vishuda to kind of utilize it with Red Rose. And you can also use the banish effect if you control the adventure token, as you don't see Monk in the extra deck. So I thought that was very interesting to see with his deck. Obviously, you're playing the Prosperity Engine. He's not playing Soul as an Illusion. I saw that on his deck list. He actually crossed it out and decided to play DD Curl last second. I think it's because there was a lot of Despia decks at this event, and he probably was like, you know what, DD Crow is gonna be more work if I'm gonna seeing that deck. So props to him. For I believe he went undefeated in Swiss, and you see his side deck. Night Beam is a huge card right now. This card is so good, especially against Despia. He probably saw that and was like, I gotta play it. 2D barrier, 2 cross out. Cross out if you see like another Brave Engine, or if you see, you could even do it of a shooter technically, because it's a Sorcerer deck, or you can use it against hand traps that you might lose to. And you never know, you might get Ash, you might get Belled, or whatever it may be. And the extra deck's pretty standard as well. If you guys have seen the sad deck, the only difference I believe was this Chang Ying that he played in his extra deck. But other than that, props to him for going defeated. I believe this player was the one that didn't want to split. I want to play it out, so I actually give him props for that, because playing it out is a huge commitment. And when I go to tournaments, I always like to play it out as well. Unless your local shop lets you do it. Obviously this I believe wasn't sanctioned. I'm not entirely sure. But they were able to split it, so that's pretty cool. Let's go into the next deck. We have one of the two Despias that were actually in top 8 and lost. This one was playing the Brave engine, or I should say the Adventure engine. And, the list is when you're seeing these decks, now that you've kind of seen how the deck works, they're either playing the Extender or they're playing like the shorted list with the Adventure engine. One list is playing Adventure, the other one's playing, a little bit more utility in their decks with like Springen's Kit and being able to use the was it Dramaturge. So and this list, you look at the list, it's pretty standard. It's nice clean cut. The only thing that was kind of weird was the one DD Crow in the side deck. I thought that was kind of weird. But I feel like they probably just want, as you can see, this kind of list is kind of all gas, no breaks, no hand traps in the main deck. So very interesting list. This list also played two Draco Stapilia, and only played one Masquerade, and they obviously played the Link Spider and Verde for more utility with the Adventure engine. Let's go and get to the next one. This one's kind of like a smaller list of Andres' theory, I should say. Um, this list has, it has all the utility in the deck. Also doesn't play, the hand traps. Um, Actually, this looks almost exactly like his list. I disregard the shorted list. This pretty much looks like Andres' list from the YCS. Pretty similar, except this list was also playing two Draco Stapilia, which is, like Andres did say that he wanted to, but he couldn't find room in the extra deck. Um, this person was only playing one Masquerade and wasn't playing the other one, and was also playing Verde still. So that was very interesting. Play token collector. Obviously, Sword Soul is a very hard matchup for this deck. So having something that you can utilize against that is very, very good. Including there can be only one. Plus D barrier. So you do have that. Cosmic and Twin in the side for back row. Bell for the mirror. I see no Ash either, which is interesting. But it is. And the last list is Christopher Pike's striker list. I thought this was very, very interesting, and I'll pinpoint some keys in here. So you see in this main deck, there I believe. Let me double check his list. It says on his deck list at least, it says 46, but I see 45 here. There's 3 impermanents. There we go. And I know what y'all are gonna say. Where's multi-role? Uh, he actually decided not to play multi-role. I was looking over this list. Thought this was kind of interesting too. No multi-role, no Griffin Rider in the main deck. And just kind of like, I guess it's kind of like a going second version of Striker. Maybe it's just like utility engine. I personally am not a very big fan of Sky Striker because I think this deck is too slow. In the current format, I think the decks in the format right now are very, very fast paced. And Sky Striker has a very hard time dealing with it. And like the only thing I thought was interesting is they're only playing one Shark Cannon when, branded in red doesn't resolve if you Shark Cannon it. So I thought that would be a good choice for like a locals like this, where there's a lot of Despia to play more Shark Cannon to kind of utilize that. Um, but I guess not. I guess why would you play it if you're going second? You never know. Um, and 46 cards plus Upstart. Obviously, it's a spell deck, so I guess you gotta play Upstart. Um, and a format right now where no one's playing Joel and Lockbird, it makes sense. The side decks pretty wild. You see the Griffin Rider. You see the actual Lancia, but it's a one of and a one Nibiru. You can't really see that if you're playing one ofs. you know. So I don't know. That's kind of interesting. Two token collector, two drolls. I'm sorry to say I did not like this list. I don't know why would you play Droll and Lockbird in a Sky Striker deck? Maybe it slows you down and gives you a turn next turn. But in a deck where you can't really kill your opponent, I don't really know. Again, not a big fan of Sky Striker, but thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. If you guys have any opinions on any of these deck lists, feel free to share your insights on the bottom. If you guys have a on some of the videos, we end up doing like full videos, as you guys can see on the video we did with Darren. We actually had a question about when does Pissy and Triple Burst come up in the combo, and Darren actually went very in depth. Um, and you guys can always see the past deck profiles. We have playlists. The foundation is, shout out to the boys. It's me, Tristan Bridges, Darren Dial, Landon Oliver. We are the foundation. So if you guys ever want to check out our deck profiles or our theory talks, or maybe if you guys want to see a podcast again, let us know. Maybe we'll start doing a podcast. Get that like button up there. And I will also be translating Andres's new video, and I'll be trying to get that up for you guys by, I want to say Friday, this Friday, because I do have to work this week. But I will try and get that as soon as possible. It might come earlier. Again, make sure if you're not subscribed already, please drop that so we can try and provide more content for y'all. Other than that, thank you guys for watching, and this is Slumpy Slumping out. Peace.